Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today, bringing you guys and gals Toriko chapter reviews. Today, Toriko chapter 333. Now, I was going to do a live reaction, but stuff arose, and that has prevented me from doing said live reaction. And I apologize for that. But next week, I'll be on point. It is what it is. The details will take too damn long, trust me. Now, when it comes to this week's chapter of Toriko, I told you guys, do not underestimate Yuda. The crew is okay as long as Yuda's there. Yuda's there, we're set. Yuda, I think, was like top 5 at number 5 when it came to the chefs of Human World. Come on, man. Come on. Yuda is, like, the fact that he was able to go into this bubble that the freaking crab coffin Kingler, alright, like, honestly, like, this guy, giant Kingler, honestly, like, freaking, since they're underwater, like, this guy, like, Mr. Krabs over here, I thought that this guy was gonna spit out a fucking Krabby Patty, but whatever, not important. Mr. Krabs spits out the freaking bubble, and then he produces these extinct ingredients called refish. And the refish, I mean, they're extinct. No one knows how to cook them. And even though that one person, she said that all of them, all the 5 top 10 shells, they know how to hear the voices of the food spirits. So they have an advantage. And in comes Condor, and he knocks the refish after some balance issues because the space is kind of weird. It has no concept of gravity. So they have to like balance themselves and try and focus in on the knocking and whatnot. He does some weird skill where he makes like some kind of like space or bubble, and that's able to actually allow him to knock the fish. Yuda, he's like, Mel, give him the damn knife, which is like a sword, pretty much, and then boom, just knocks over. He's like, I'm a young buck, all right? I'm 124 years old. He's a young buck, all right? Right? I mean, compared to Condor, who's 3,000 years old, Yuda's still in his diapers. But whatever. The whole point here is that Condor, he's underestimated Yuda. He's underestimated the chefs of Human World. And at the beginning of the chapter, Asurudi, let's call her she for now, she was saying, essentially, that not even she can predict the outcome of this match. She who's read 10,000 books a year, who can understand the flow of this story, essentially. Not even she could predict the outcome of this match. And when Yuda knocks the fish, this piques the interest of Condor. So Condor, who is, in a sense, like the Joker of the group, like the guy who just, does his own thing, like he's like random as fuck, he's now focuses all hell. Because he sees Yuda can actually knock the fish like that. And that's really it. I mean, essentially, now it's Yuda gonna show his shit. Like, can Yuda actually cook this refish very well, better than the actual 10 shells? We're not too sure, because the 10 shells do have an advantage of hearing the food spirits. Not only that, but the actual environment, the 10 shells, I'm pretty sure that they're used to it, because there's this thing called, like, the soul burner. And the soul burner is not, like, basically the entire stadium was lifted up, or not the stadium, but the arena that they were, like, cooking on. And underneath that arena section is a burner. But it's not fire, it's like soul flames. And the soul flames are powered by the extreme appetite of, like, the deceased, I suppose. Some shit like that. So basically, like, this game has now turned into, like, this competition has turned into a life or death situation. Where I think the person, if they lose, they can actually get sent into the soul burner and, like, get their souls consumed or some shit. Nah. Like, I'm not too sure, but I have to remember that these are the folks that can easily switch out souls. So if the person's soul is consumed by the soul burner, and the body's a husk, they can just put in a new soul, like that. Not a big deal. So the stakes have been risen, alright? They've been risen to the nth degree. It's not a joke anymore. Like, now we're super fucking serious. And aside from that, I mean, Don Slime coming in there. Apparently, the reason why Mr. Krabs is there is because of Don Slime. Alright, Don Slime was able to talk to, I think, the higher ups of the food spirit realm. Like I suppose that there are folks there that he had to talk with before actually getting the Mr. Krabs to come in with the damn casket. And then Mr. Krabs has all these extinct guys inside of it. Or either that, or it's like some type of like space-time thing. Where the crab casket can go back in like space and time and actually retrieve old ingredients. Like old extinct animals. And so it's fair from that standpoint, but again, it's unfair from the standpoint that these guys can actually heal the food spirits. Now, if it was Komatsu, it wouldn't matter, because Komatsu's Komatsu. He goes in there, he annihilates, as always. But when it comes to actually capturing the ingredients, I think that's Komatsu's weakest point. Because Komatsu isn't, like, he's not like a fighting chef. He's not like Yuda, where he has a sword as a knife. He actually has he has a knife when it comes to size, right? It's not regular because it has made from the one-tooth wonder. But you get my point here. The point here is that I don't know if Komatsu can actually capture ingredients successfully unless he has the power of his gourmet demon behind him and Komatsu actually attains fighting skills, which would be a huge shocker. Oh, that'd be massive. That'd be fucking huge. Monumental. Though, that's his only issue. Because when it comes to cooking, no one's beating him. Straight up. No one's beating Komatsu. So, that being said, we're gonna see one-on-one matches. And I guess this gives time for Chiyo and Komatsu to come in. So, let's say like the last two are the oil guy and Nono. And in comes Chiyo and Komatsu, like, can we switch? Done, in the story. But if they're actually going for Choco, then they're going to stay there for a while. And they have to just rely on their own skills, pretty much. And Asurudi is looking for somebody, and that person wasn't there. But that person we can assume is Komatsu. So, what Asurudi wants with Komatsu specifically? No idea. But Komatsu, I mean, maybe because the 10 shells, have tried to actually cook another and they failed or some shit like that, or like they can't do it properly. But Komatsu, you know he can. But at the same time, there's also Gigi, so Gigi could do it too. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that we don't know, so let me not go any further. So overall, the chapter, that was a good chapter. Leave it at that. So King of Lightning, rate the video as always. It's not that hard. All right, you got this thing. It's called a mouse. All right, and you got to use the mouse. And of course, comment, subscribe. Have a nice one.